Good evening, I'm David Rose. Thanks for joining us for a look this weekend at our top cases with Crime Stoppers and Washington's Most Wanted. Starting with the search for a suspect in a shooting. Seattle police are asking for your help to identify this man seen carrying a small dog inside a 7-Eleven on Erskine Way Southwest in West Seattle. He's white with a tan complexion, black beard, and long curly black hair. Detectives say he walked out of the store just after 10:45 p.m. on Wednesday, June 3rd, and got into an argument with another man that quickly escalated when witnesses heard a gunshot.
The victim in this particular case walks in with his left hand. He's clutching his chest. There's blood coming out, and he obviously had been shot in the chest.
Officers responded at 10:48 p.m. and began applying gauze to the wound. The bullet had entered his left pectoral and exited his back. He was taken to the hospital and he survived. Now, this might seem like a case of self-defense since police say the victim pulled out a knife, but detectives say they don't have the full story right now.
After the suspect shot the victim and did not stay at the scene, now he's a suspect in an assault 1 case, and we need to know who he is and where he's at.
Detectives say the victim was unable to identify the suspect, but thought he might be transient. No car was seen, and he left eastbound on foot. So if you know this guy's name, Crime Stoppers of Puget Sound is offering a cash reward of up to $1,000. Submit an anonymous tip at 1-800-222-TIPS or through the P3 Tips app on your cell phone. Now, this case is a good reminder that all of us need to be aware of our emotions right now as tempers are running high.
All of this could have been avoided if they'd have just slow down, talk about the situation, and see if they can get it resolved besides with violence.
The largest manhunt in the history of Kittitas County continues deep in the woods for an armed and dangerous murder suspect. These are photos showing the command posts that have been set up in Liberty and Mineral Springs. And now the U.S. Marshals have joined the mission to find Jorge Alcantara-Gonzalez. They're offering a $5,000 reward for any information that leads to his capture. Law enforcement has been searching for Alcantara-Gonzalez in the Highway 97 Blewett Pass, Mineral Springs area. He's believed to have burglarized multiple homes and cabins in the area, looking for tools, supplies, even weapons. The sheriff's office wants people who own homes or cabins to ask deputies to do security checks. You can call KitCom, the county's dispatch number, if you'd like to have your property checked. That number is there on your screen. It's 509-925-8534. We'll also put this number in our story on our website, catchwmw.com. Alcantara-Gonzalez is charged with the suspected killing of 41-year-old Ian Eccles from Kent, who went missing in that area. And the manhunt for Alcantara-Gonzalez started Memorial Day weekend when deputies found him on a Forest Service road. He was inside Eccles' Toyota FJ Cruiser. Alcantara-Gonzalez fled into the forest. Eccles disappeared after he went to meet friends in the Liberty area for a turkey hunt. Investigators say evidence found in Eccles' vehicle led them to believe he was murdered. And now Alcantara-Gonzalez has been charged in that murder. He's got a history of arrests in King County. He could be hiding in the old mine shafts or the tunnels or any of the many caves in the woods in that area. He should be absolutely considered armed and dangerous.
We know that he had access to weapons. There were weapons in Mr. Eccles' vehicle. So once we knew that he had possession of that vehicle, we knew that he had access to firearms. So we don't know, not everything has been recovered yet, so we don't know what the suspects may have. There's a lot of law enforcement in the area, and we just ask the public to stay away from there so that we can try to apprehend this person and then continue our search for Mr. Eccles.
Jorge Alcantara-Gonzalez is 34 years old, 5'7", 175 pounds. Take particular note of his pockmarked cheeks. If you know where he is, or you even think you might know his location in Kittitas County, call 911 for the fastest possible response. If you have information that Alcantara-Gonzalez is outside of Kittitas County and you can help find him, call the U.S. Marshals tip line at 1-800-336-0102 or use the U.S. Marshals Service Tips app on the mobile phone you have to submit the information. We've also put this contact information on our website, catchwmw.com. Anyone that reports a tip that leads to his arrest through either method will be eligible for that $5,000 reward. A frightening visit to a restroom for a restaurant customer in Federal Way. Officers say this man, Juan Sanchez, came into that bathroom, peered over the stall, and then told the victim, who he didn't know, "Give me all your drugs."
The victim had no idea what he was talking about, didn't have any drugs. Sanchez then produced and showed a handgun that he had in his waistband, obviously scaring the person that was in the bathroom, who immediately left the bathroom. I ended up calling 911 to advise them what had occurred.
Federal Way police arrived. Sanchez was still in the restaurant. Officers figured out the gun he had was stolen. Sanchez got busted for illegally having that firearm because he's an 11-time convicted felon. He's not allowed to have a gun. So when he got out of jail on bail, he skipped court. And now he has an arrest warrant for unlawful possession of a firearm.
He's got a long history of all sorts of different criminal behaviors over the years. But the fact that he would go into a bathroom and threaten somebody with a gun when they were just trying to go to the bathroom is scary and terrifying for anybody. So we owe it to the public to find this guy and get him behind bars as quickly as possible.
Juan Sanchez is 28 years old. He's 5 feet 7 inches tall, and he weighs 130 pounds. Detectives say he lives in the Federal Way area, and if you know where they can find him, you will be paid a cash reward of up to $1,000. So here's what you do. You got to submit a tip through the P3 Tips app on your cell phone or call 1-800-222-TIPS. It is anonymous. You will never be asked to give your name. If you've ever had your vehicle stolen, you know it can be devastating. And tonight, the Puget Sound Auto Theft Task Force needs your help to catch a suspect accused in the theft of a car that contained the cremated remains of a loved one. Take a look at 29-year-old Dennis B. Anderson III. He has a warrant for his arrest for trafficking in stolen property and a Department of Corrections warrant for escape from community custody. Detectives say he was involved in the theft of a 2017 Audi from a garage in Auburn on March 6th. And the family who owns the car had been preparing for a funeral and left the remains inside. Now, the vehicle was later recovered on March 25th near 1610 Wright Avenue in Tacoma. But the seats, the seat belts, the door speakers had all been stripped from the car. Detectives say they identified Anderson as a suspect in the case, and now they need your help to find him. Anderson is a member of the Muckleshoot tribe and is believed to be going between the Muckleshoot and Puyallup reservations. And if you know where he's staying, you will be paid a cash reward of up to $1,000. All you have to do is submit that anonymous tip through the P3 Tips app that you can download to your cell phone for free or call 1-800-222-TIPS. Tonight, a plea from the family of this young woman from Monroe who simply vanished. They need someone, anyone, to help major crimes detectives with the Snohomish County Sheriff's Office find Kenna Harris. Now, this 25-year-old was last seen more than 2 months ago in the city of Snohomish, and her family is hoping a $5,000 cash reward will encourage someone to come forward with any information, even a possible sighting of her. Kenna Harris's family has been posting flyers all over town, hoping these photos showing her bright smile will jog someone's memory as investigators work to retrace her steps. On Tuesday, March 31st, Kenna never showed up to work at Walmart in Monroe. The 25-year-old withdrew money from her bank account and was then seen on surveillance video on a community transit bus. Investigators say she caught a ride to Snohomish, where she was last seen at the Subway restaurant on Bickford Road. There was no surveillance of her in the restaurant because their cameras only have a live feed. No video was recorded. And since then, Kenna's phone has been turned off, and no one has seen or heard from her.
Our whole family's missing her. I miss my sister, and my folks are missing their daughter, and we just really want to know where she is.
Her mom, Kelly, says Kenna had a bad car accident a few years ago and suffers from a traumatic brain injury.
She wouldn't ever cause me to worry, so we're pretty concerned that there's some reason why she can't reach out to us.
Kenna is 5'8", has short reddish brown hair and hazel green eyes. She was last seen wearing a black down waist-length coat, a gray knit hat, a black scarf, blue jeans, and black sneakers.
We just want to know she's okay. Does she need her money from her paycheck that got direct deposited in her account? Does she need her other money that she didn't have access to that day? Does she need a refill on her medication? Anything. If she's in a good place and she's fine, we just want to know she's okay.
Kenna's mom has created this flyer. It's got a barcode that you can scan. It'll take you to a special Facebook page, and you can follow any developments. Now, we've put this flyer in our web story at catchwmw.com so you can easily scan it and access it. If you know where Kenna Harris is, or you have any information at all on a sighting, a photo, something on your surveillance, maybe you were sitting next to her on the bus, anything at all that can help detectives figure out if she's okay, please submit that to Crime Stoppers of Puget Sound through the P3 Tips app or at p3tips.com. You can also call the hotline. And again, there's a cash reward of up to $5,000 if you can help them find Kenna. Well, that's a look at some of the cases featured this weekend on Washington's Most Wanted. So join me tonight for the show, 11 o'clock on Q13 Fox. And if that's too late, we'll see you tomorrow night, 9:30 on Joe TV, 10:30 on Q13 Fox. Set your DVR if you can't tune in live. You can also watch it statewide, Spokane, Yakima, and Tri-Cities, 10:30 on Fox TV stations there. We need your help. All of us come together to fight this crime. Let's make sure there's nowhere left to hide.